Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Manning coming to you live from Scott Manning YouTube Sports Talk. I want to thank all my loyal viewers for being with me here in the wee hours of the morning. It is now 12:30 a.m. in the eastern part of the United States. 3 of the 5 conference tournaments are now over. The Big 12, the Big East, and the ACC have crowned champions. I'm going to have a run through. I'm going to do reports on all 3 of those games. Then I'm going to get you set for the Big 10 final and the SEC final tomorrow, or I should say today. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to hand out the basketball Hardwood Awards for this Saturday, and let's just jump right into the show because we got a lot to talk about. So first of all, we're going to start it right out with the Big 12. The Iowa State Cyclones shocked Kansas 78-66 in the Big 12 championship game. Yeah. Lindell Wigginton, 17.6 rebounds, 2 assists. Mario Shyak, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Michael Jacobson, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 block shots. Tyrese Halliburton, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks. For the Kansas Jayhawks on this day, Dietrich Lawson, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. Devon Dodson, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Quentin Grimes, 10 points, 2 blocks. And this is unbelievable. What we saw out of Iowa State was remarkable. They lost their last 5 out of their 6 regular season games. Iowa State coach Steve Prohm said these guys grew up. When we got into the Big 12 tournament, they all of a sudden just grew up. And they realize now it's time to get serious. And that's exactly what happened today. I mean, think about this. Listen to these numbers for Iowa State. 26 of 54 from the field, 48.1%. They were 19 of 26 today at the free throw line. That's 76%. And from beyond the arc, 7 of 19 for 36.8%. Now, Dietrich Lawson was assessed a technical foul for spiking the ball after Quentin Grimes fouled out of the game. It was a frustration spike. I know it happens. Kansas coach Bill Self said, our guys were just totally lost out there. And I mean, we just played awful. We just couldn't do anything about it. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, I've had a long day. But I have enough time to go on the air with you guys and talk to you for a few minutes. Now, here's some things that stuck out for Kansas. Kansas, from beyond the arc today, 3 of 18 for 16.7%. They only went 28 of 71 from the field. That's 39.4%. And it gets worse. 7 of 13 at the free throw line, 53.8%. Kansas just flat out played awful. That's all there was to it. This is why Iowa State won. Now, what will happen with Kansas? Will they get a 1 seed? No, they're not going to get a 1 seed, but I'm going to tell you this, though. My hat's off to the Iowa State Cyclones for winning. Oh, excuse me. I've had a long day, like I said. Now, Iowa State. Now, let me see here. Mario Shyak getting MVP for the Big 12 championship. I will agree with that any day of the week. So my congratulations to Mario Shyak. Here, sir, I'm going to tell you this now. I am so proud of him, and he's earned the right to be called MVP for the way he showed up and the way he played during the Big 12 tournament. My congratulations to the Iowa State Cyclones and a Big 12 championship. My congratulations to you. Now, let's talk about the Big East final. Villanova has won their 3rd straight Big East championship with a 74-72 victory tonight over Seton Hall. What a game that was. I didn't get to see the whole thing because I was so busy worrying about the Big 12. Like I said today, I knew my remote was going to be getting a workout. And I was ready for it. For Villanova, Eric Paschal, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Sadiq Bey, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 block shots. Phil Booth, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And Jermaine Samuels, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Villanova won today despite committing 14 turnovers. Like I've said before, if you turn the ball over somewhere between 10 to 20 times a ball game, you're not going to win all the time. And also, too, Seton Hall coach Kevin Willard was assessed a technical foul for screaming and cussing at the officials. I forgot to just pass that along to you. But for Seton Hall, Miles Powell, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Miles Cale, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Anthony Nelson came off the bench with 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists last night here in the Big East Championship game. You know, after the game, and I'm going to say this real quick, Villanova coach Jay Wright was mobbed by 3 of his senior guards. Phil Booth, Eric Pascal, and you know how it is. When the seniors know this is their last hurrah, they got to have fun. And after the press conferences, and after everything was over, Villanova shut the door to the New York Knicks locker room, and they turned up the hip-hop music so loud, it was just absolutely unbelievable to see. Jay Wright poked his head in the door, and who was leading the celebration? The old fart himself, Phil Booth. And what a moment it was for Phil Booth and the senior class of Villanova. They got the job done. My congratulations. And my congratulations to the Big East champion Villanova Wildcats for the 3rd straight year. You've won the Big East Championship. It's been the last 4 out of 5 that have been won by the Wildcats. And my congratulations to you guys for getting the job done. Bottom line. All right. Let's talk about the ACC final. This was a matchup that would have everybody talking. Duke, Florida State. Duke beat Florida State tonight 73-63. Zion Williamson, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. R.J. Barrett, 17 points, 9 rebounds. Trey Jones, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Cam Reddish, 11 points, 4 rebounds. And for Florida State, not much to cheer about. Mfiondu Kanagle, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 block shots. Terrence Mann, 12 points, along with 8 rebounds. Zion Williamson was named MVP of the ACC tournament, and he earned that honor. Don't say it was given to him. He earned it. He averaged 27 points and 10 rebounds during the ACC tournament, and he made 33 of 43 shots in 3 games. Very, very impressive. But you know what? Duke won despite only going 2 of 14 from beyond the arc for 14.3%. They shot 27 of 55 from the field for 49.1% in the ball game, and he won it. But you know the sad part about Florida State? This is a Florida State Seminoles team that went 15 of 16 at the free throw line. They were nearly perfect. However, they only went 20 of 63 from the field for 31.7%. Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski said after the game, Superman was on the court tonight. And that's all there was to it. I mean, Superman, Super Zion, that's what everybody calls him Super Zion, because he's the reason why we won the ACC championship this year. Duke wins the ACC. They have done it again, and I'm just very happy for them. Hey, it's their 33rd ACC crown, and they had to go out and earn it this year. Don't say it wasn't given to them. And this is despite the fact that Duke had to limp to the finish line in the final 6 games of the regular season after Zion got hurt. I've had a long. Now, this is a Duke team that had to limp to the finish line without Zion Williamson. That's all there was to it. And the bottom line is Duke got the job done, and my congratulations to the Duke Blue Devils for winning the ACC crown. Now, those were our 3 champions on this day. Now, we still got 2 more big championship games to go. And here's what happened here today. Tennessee will face Auburn in the SEC championship game. Do you guys remember 1 week ago when Tennessee had a chance to clinch the regular season crown, but they lost to Auburn? Well, Tennessee's going to get to face Auburn again. And the first part of Tennessee being in the SEC championship game comes as a result of beating Kentucky 82-78. Emerald Schofield, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Grant Williams, 20.7 rebounds. Jordan Bone, 18 points, 5 assists. And here's the thing with Tennessee. They closed the game on an 18-6 run, and they had their first shot at an SEC title for the first time since 1979. Very impressive. For Kentucky, P.J. Washington, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Keldon Johnson, 15.6 rebounds. Reed Travis, 11.6 rebounds. Ashton Hagans, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, A double-double for him. I hate that in a losing effort. Tyler Hero, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Couple of key things in this game that stuck out for me. Tennessee shot 20 of 25 at the free throw line. That's 80%. But Kentucky played better from the field. 30 of 56 for 53.6%. That 80% at the free throw line is one of the many reasons why Tennessee is going to the SEC final. Tennessee coach Rick Barnes said after the game, I hope we can get ourselves into this should shoot us up into a number 1 seed. The bottom line is we played our hearts out today, and nobody can take that away from us. Kentucky coach John Calipari said afterwards, it was just a disappointment. We had a chance to really prove ourselves, but we blew it against Tennessee. They won the rubber match against us, but next year we'll be back stronger, better than ever. And that's all I'm going to say any further. Now, the other game, Auburn will be playing Florida in the SEC championship game here later today after a 65-62 victory over Florida. For Auburn, Jared Harper, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. Bryce Brown had 11 points. For Florida, Kavarius Hayes, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks. Jalen Hudson, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Now, you guys are wondering what happened at the end of the game. Remember Andrew Nembhard, who was the hero against LSU with a game winner at the buzzer? Auburn got very creative. They had 3 guys defending him. And what happened was when Nembhard went to go make the shot, a lot of people said he got fouled, and there was no call made. I'm going to be honest with you. There was no call made, and everybody is going to be talking about that for a long time, or at least until the beginning of the NCAA tournament, where anything else can happen. But before you guys go out and blame Auburn's defense for blocking Andrew Nembhard, here's 2 things to think about. Now, Florida did shoot very well from the field, 23 of 38 from the field. That's 60.5. That's 60.5%. However, another major problem for Florida, 19 turnovers. You cannot turn the ball over 15, 20 times and expect to win a ball game. I don't care who you are and what you say. Auburn coach Bruce Pearl, he's got history with Tennessee. He coached at Tennessee for a long time, and now he's the head coach at Auburn. How interesting is it going to be knowing that Bruce Pearl has got to face his old school again, but this time for the SEC championship? We'll have to wait and see what happens on Championship Sunday and what happens on Selection Sunday. And the bottom line is this. The SEC final is going to be very fun to watch. And that's all I'm going to say any further about the SEC tournament on this day. All right, let's move on to the Big Ten tournament. Michigan State and Wisconsin. Michigan State became a big winner today over Wisconsin, 67-65. Cassius Winston, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Xavier Tillman, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Kenny Goins, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Now, Nick Ward did play, but he only played 11 minutes in that game. He only had 2 points for the game, and he was in foul trouble early. He got into foul trouble. He had 3 fouls, and he didn't play that much. And Michigan State won this game despite committing 15 turnovers in the ball game. And here's what happened with Wisconsin. Ethan Happ, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks. Kobe King, 13 points, 3 rebounds. And think about this. If it weren't for Ethan Happ, this would have been a lot worse. Ethan Happ had 20.6 rebounds. The rest of the starters, with the exception of Nate Reavers has got a big old goose egg for the day. He had 14 in Wisconsin's victory over Purdue. He had nothing against Michigan State. Nate Reavers had no points on the day. Iverson, Trice, and Davidson, those 3 guys there combined for 21 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. That was it. Here's a couple other things that got my attention for this game. Wisconsin was only 2 of 19 from beyond the arc. That's 10.5%. That's it. and he only shot 24-68 from the field. That's only 35.3%. Michigan State didn't have to rely on Nick Ward that much. Thank heavens for that. But Wisconsin, if they hadn't had Ethan Happ, Wisconsin would have probably scored like maybe 20, 25 points, and that would have been it. There would have been no highlights. And the bottom line is this. Michigan State is into the Big Ten final, where they will face the Michigan Wolverines. And this comes as a result of a Michigan victory over Minnesota today, 76-49. Isaiah Livers, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, coming off the bench. Xavier Simpson, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists. Ingus Brazdeikis, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 block shots. For the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Amir Coffey, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Jordan Murphy, 10.6 rebounds, 1 assist, and that was it for them. And I'll say this, though. In the first half, Michigan and Minnesota were actually tied. Then to close out the half, the Wolverines won on an 18-2 run to close out the first half. And they held the Minnesota Golden Gophers scoreless for nearly 6 minutes. That was an impressive day for Michigan. And for Michigan, they were 32-62 from the field. That's 51.6%. Very impressive. And they went 10-26 from beyond the arc for 38.5%. But for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, they were only 3 of 9 at the free throw line. That's 33.3%. And they were only 2 of 13 from beyond the arc. That's only 16.7%. Now, Michigan State and Michigan will face off for the 3rd time, this time for the Big Ten Championship. Michigan State has taken both meetings over Michigan. But I'm going to say this now. The Big Ten Championship is on the line. And a lot can happen on that Saturday. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have Tennessee and Auburn in a rematch, this time for the SEC crown. Auburn took the first game 84-80. Now we have Michigan and Michigan State facing off for a 3rd time for the Big Ten Championship. And let me say this. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. Michigan State coach Tom Izzo said after the game, if we have to play Michigan, we can play them one more time. It will be my pleasure to beat them again. Hopefully this time Nick Ward will be a bigger help. But Tom Izzo did say this about Nick Ward. He said it was good to see him back out there. If he could just stay out of foul trouble, we'll be all right. Now I know he didn't play much today because of all the foul trouble that he had. But the bottom line is this: I was so glad to see him out on the court on this day. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and hand out the Hardwood Awards here real quick. I apologize. This is going to be a short show because I want to get some sleep because I've been going all day and I'm tired. And I've had a long day. You can tell by the way I've been acting. All right. We're going to start out the Hardwood Awards segment with the SEC semifinals. Emerald Schofield, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Grant Williams, 20 points, 7 rebounds. Jordan Bone, 18 points, 5 rebounds. Congratulations to Emerald Schofield. You get the triple check, which means you're going to get a triple Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. Now, I'm only going to be handing out 1 Hardwood Award for each team, for each game. That's all I'm going to be doing today because I want to save all the rest of the Hardwood Awards for another time. For the Auburn, Florida contest, Jared Harper, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got your first ever Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. And you get it for beating Florida in the SEC semifinal. Now, let's move on to the Big Ten. Cassius Winston, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Xavier Tillman, this is for the Michigan State-Wisconsin contest. My award goes to Cassius Winston. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. For the Michigan State-Minnesota contest, you know what? He came off the bench, had 21 big points. I'm going to give Isaiah Livers, you're going to be a first-time recipient of a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. All right. Those are your conference semifinals. Now for the conference finals. Now, for the Iowa State-Kansas Big 12 championship game, my Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award goes to Mario Shyok. He was named the MVP of the Big 12 tournament. And my congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself the biggest Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award I can see for winning a conference tournament. Now, for the Big East championship game, I'm handing out one award for each team. And my award for the Big East championship game goes to MVP Phil Booth. Congratulations to you, sir. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Now, I know it may not sound like much, but you know what? I'm going to have him share it with somebody else. Phil Booth will get a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award, but I'm going to give one to Eric Pascal. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Congratulations to you, sir. You just got yourself a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. For the ACC championship game, there's only one person I can think of. Good old Zion Williamson. He averaged 27 points, 10 rebounds during the tournament. He made 33 of 43 shots in 3 games. And on top of that, Zion Williamson had 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. Congratulations to you, sir. I'm going to give you a Scott Manning Basketball Hardwood Award. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thoughts on this day. We started the day out with a lot of people on the bubble. And it turned out a lot of those teams are in the field now. Ohio State is now safely in. Can Iowa State possibly get a 5 seed after knocking off Kansas in the Big 12 final? And Big 12 championship history was made tonight. Iowa State has become the first seed lower than a 4 seed ever to win the Big 12 championship. Iowa State was a 5 seed in the Big 12 tournament this year. And the Iowa State Cyclones won the Big 12 championship despite limping to the finish line, losing their last 5 of their 6 games. They got the job done. Iowa State coach Steve Prohm said they grew up. And boy, did they sure did. But what about Villanova's Phil Booth? The oldest guy, one of the oldest guys on the team, the older guys on the team. I'm not sure if they gave him MVP or not, but I gave it to him because he earned it. And I had him and Eric Pascal share the honor. But let me tell you something. When I said Jay Wright, after everything was over, after all the celebration and all the press conferences were over, and all the Villanova players were in the New York Knicks locker room celebrating, and they had the hip-hop music going so loud it wasn't even funny, Jay Wright actually did peek into the New York Knicks locker room. He said, the old fart's leading the party. And the old fart was Phil Booth. But what about the ACC? The ACC tournament. Zion proved to me that he's worthy of being a great player. I hope he does stay. I hope he decides not to go pro. I think Zion Williamson would be better off staying in college, staying at Duke, and he could help Duke win another national championship. This year was going to be about the Duke freshmen in the ACC. It started to turn into more of the talk about the UNC seniors. Kobe White, Garrison Brooks, Cameron Johnson. But this time, it was the young guns that prevailed in the ACC tournament. Now, the SEC tournament is going to be decided today, along with the Big Ten tournament, that we will have Selection Sunday. I will give you my reaction to Selection Sunday on Monday morning at about 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday. I want to give it some time to digest. I got a few other things to do Monday morning, but you know what? This has been a great ride. I will give you my bracket, and I will share my bracket with you probably on Wednesday night. As soon as I want to get the first 4 games out of the way before I do anything else. But here's what it all boils down to. The NCAA tournament starts on the following Thursday, and it's going to be crazy. What will happen? March Madness, we're almost 2/3 of the way through it. We got a ways to go. The Final Four will not be until April 6th, the day after my birthday. What a way to celebrate my birthday weekend. Watch the Final Four, They'll probably get ready for the national championship game the following Monday night. What will happen? Will we have new national champions? Will Villanova repeat? Or will somebody come out of the pack? Will we have a UMBC of last year knock off? Will we have a 16 seed knock off a number 1 seed? The only good news for Virginia, if they get a 1 seed, they won't have to face UMBC like they did last year. UMBC is not even going to make it to the tournament this time. What will happen? Only time will tell that. But in the meantime, let's enjoy the madness and let's have fun with it. And that's all I got to say on this night. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here on this very late night. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is type my name down, scroll down, look for this pretty face, and click subscribe, and you'll see all the sports videos I have done so far. Thank you guys so much for being with me here on this day. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless. Good night, everyone.